Okay guys, so in this video I'll be breaking down Frank Kern's sales page. This is a whole sales page I have taken from his website, and what I've done is that I've broken down this whole sales page on this Miro board, and I have mentioned all the areas where we need to study, where we need to really analyze. And yeah, so you see it's a very long sales page, and I have done my best to really mention everywhere we need to focus on. And then before that, I'll also start with the belief system. So this is the belief system over here, which is very necessary whenever we're first writing a sales page. And then after that, we'll summarize this whole sales page with the old belief and then taking to the new belief, right? So let's start, shall we? So Frank Kern, you already know, is a very famous marketer, and before I even start with this sales page, there's something we need to focus on, is that whenever we write a sales page or a VSL, there is one big belief we need to know. What is the one big central idea that we are really trying to explain? Because the one belief or the central idea is the main thing around which the whole conversation will revolve. So if you're not clear on what that one big belief is, then your sales page would have difficulty in actually selling itself, right? So in this particular sales page by Frank Kern, basically he's trying to sell a book. It's a book on how to advertise and how to get more customers, right, by internet campaigns. And so the big belief shift that he's trying to do in this sales page is that making money online isn't about shiny tools or complex funnels. It's about following a proven system that focuses on market psychology. So this is the main big belief that what he's trying to say is that you don't need a lot of shiny tools. You just need to understand what the market psychology is, and there is a system for that. There is a proven and a tested and proven system for that, which Frank Kern has, and that is what he's actually trying to sell. And eventually, you'll further, later on, you'll understand that he's basically bundled everything he has learned into a book that he's trying to sell, right? I am assuming I am being recorded. Yes, great. Okay, so let's start with the sales page, shall we? Okay, so initially, the moment you start with the sales page, initially you first come across the headline. The headline says brand new from Frank Kern. New book reveals how to create internet campaigns that sell. So you see, when you say the word brand new, it's announcing the novel emotion. So the emotion is new, something new is about to happen. And then when you use the word reveal, so you're unfolding a secret reveals promising a benefit. So it's like you are about to reveal something which is again going to spark that new emotion inside the human brain, that something is about to be revealed. And this could also be something about big, because usually this could be more less of a big one and more of like a new one. But the idea is when you're revealing something, it's going to be something big, it's going to be something new, right? So new book reveals how to create internet campaigns that sells. So he's basically, if this is eventually, he's said this if, in the immediate part of his headline, that there is a book he's about to reveal, and that is about how to create internet campaigns that sell. So you see, this is more targeted towards business owners who are struggling with getting customers via internet campaigns. They don't know, they may know, or they slightly know, or they don't know nothing about internet campaigns. So this is the problem. Uh, the problem that's going to be solved is by this book, right? Now, as we go down, we see that Frank Kern's picture is here, so that showing his face is instantly developing trust. That yeah, this is a trustworthy person. We know who this guy is. And then it starts from the desk of Frank Kern, La Jolla, California. I am assuming that's called La Jolla, California. So immediately when you start your sales page with the name, again, this is a one way of starting a sales page. When you use your own personal name, it kind of anchors your trust, right? Then he goes a bit more. Dear friend, if you'd like to create internet campaigns that sell like crazy, regardless of your industry, this is the most important letter you'll read today. Now, this is how you are hooking attention. You are, getting your audience aware of the fact that this is the most important thing. This is very important, so you need to pay attention. And also from the standpoint of lead, so there are about six type of leads. There is a proclamation lead, there is a promise lead, there is a story lead, There are multiple types of leads, and out of that, what I have understood is that he has used a promise lead. So promise lead is something is a lead in which the initial parts of your sales page basically is promising something. So he's basically promising that I'll tell you about internet campaigns, and so you should stick and listen. I'll show you in a minute why. So this is more of like a bribe. This is something I have learned from Clayton Makepeace, is that you should keep on opening a loop of bribe. It's like bribing somebody's attention, that I'll show you in a later why. So this is that psychology behind that. But first, a disclaimer. Now, this is whenever I mean, this usually happens more in financial copies, from what I've read. But this happens where anything you're trying to sell something, it's a good idea to give a disclaimer if you have something that is of a very large value, or something that you need to tell your audience that this is not for everybody, or anything like this. If you want to tell your audience something, something they should know, then it's good to put a disclaimer in the initial part of a sales page. So putting a disclaimer is also like a pattern interrupting, is also like pattern interrupt. You basically interrupted a pattern immediately. So that's also a good way of starting a sales letter. Please understand, my results I'm sharing with you are not typical. I'm not implying you'll duplicate them or do anything for that matter. So basically what's happening is, you can see I've mentioned, is he's setting realistic expectations and he's reducing the skepticism. What he's saying is that the results that he has got for his campaign, or whenever he had his business, these are not typical results. So you should not expect that you apply them and you actually get the results. So you should know that. So this is the first disclaimer he's giving. I have the benefit of practicing direct response marketing and advertising for 19 years, and have established following as a result. So this is again, he's stating his credibility, that he has been working in this advertising industry for about 19 years. The average person who buys any how to information gets little to no results. I'm using these references for example purposes only. So again, he is basically indirectly calling out industry failures. So he's saying that a lot of people, they just want to know how to books or any how to methodology, and just step by step apply that and expect to get the results. So this is not what he is trying to do over here. Your results will vary and depend on many factors. So you see, he's already mentioned that your results will vary and depend on many factors, including but not limited to your background, your experience, and your work ethic. So he's this is the disclaimer. He's saying it all depends on your background, it all depends on your experience, and it all depends on your work ethic. That will dictate if you'll get the results or not. So he's basically mentioning the relevant variables so that readers can have realistic expectations. All business entails risk as well as massive and consistent effort and action. If you're not willing to accept that, please do not get this book. Now, this is a very good way of sprinkling some reverse psychology. So the idea is that you want people to buy, but then you are basically tricking their brain into buying by saying by not buying. Do not buy. So this is reverse psychology. With that, let me jump in and show you exactly what you're getting. So now he goes ahead. So this is dramatically different from anything you've ever read, because it's more of a field guide to advertising for massive success than a traditional book. So what he's basically, this is one of the biggest objection he's also handling, is that a lot of people, they just give you a simple a book, which is basically, he's basically differentiating between theory and practical. He's saying a lot of people give you theoretical guides, but what this is more like a field guide. This is like a step by step plan. It's more of like a practical methodology, I'm telling you. So he's conveying the new emotion. Now, when you say dramatically different, again, this is basically selling the emotion of new. So something new is about to happen. This is a bit different this time. And then he goes a bit further. The reason why is because there is no fluff or filler. It immediately gets down to brass tacks, showing you exactly what to do, how to do, and why. So he's basically promising a method, a step-by-step method that emphasizes some actionable content, right? So there's some actionable thing that he's going to give you. It's gonna be you some. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be a step-by-step method or something like that. Plus, it's easy to read. So you can see there's a easy motion. At just 75 pages, you can read it all in an afternoon. So you see, when he's already mentioning that this book is about 75 pages, and then you can read it the whole. You can read the whole book in just an afternoon. So that is basically him pushing the easy motion. So it's very easy to read. You just have to go through it, and it's going to take just an afternoon. And you'll immediately get the entire methodology I personally used to create some of the most successful internet advertising promotions in history. So what he's doing is that he's promising quick, immediate results and pushing the easy emotion again. So this is very easy for you, and he's also immediately you'll get the entire methodology. So when you say immediately, it more of if more it more of like tells you that this is going to be very fast. Here's a fraction of what's inside and what it may mean for your business. So this is again a dramatic, provocative claim to stir curiosity and urgency. That what you're about to get inside is just a fraction of what I'm about to tell you. So this is again pulling the curiosity emotion. Best news ever. Your competitors are practically throwing customers at you as you read this. Now, this is a very powerful methodology of putting somebody to think, wait, really? Is that about to happen? My competitors are actually throwing customers at me. So he is really triggering the greed and the FOMO part. So we humans, by design, if there is no catch and there is an opportunity to be greedy, we will be greedy. So he's trying to trigger that greed part of the human brain. That you see your competitors are just throwing customers at you and you're not even catching them. So this basically turns an average human being to become a little bit more greedy. And there is a fear of missing out. He says he would that person or the business owner, when he reads this particular line, he'll think that why am I missing out? I need to latch on to this opportunity. How? So when you say the word how immediately, so you see that is the thing that he wants to push that emotion, and he wants to think how how is it possible that my competitors are throwing customers at me. He wants you to think how. That's the reason why the next sentence immediately after this is how. You see, because this is a very bold claim, and it kind of looks like he's basically saying the opposite. He's going against the narrative. So the reader is compelled to think how, right? And then he's gonna break it down further. They're making three deadly mistakes. So you see, this is where he's explaining. They're making three deadly mistakes that can drive the customers to you in droves. So now he's, slightly revealing the idea that they're making some mistakes. All you have to do is basically show up, and you might dominate your marketplace in a matter of days using this one simple method. See page 3. So you see what he has done is that he has given you a little bit of hint, but he has not revealed everything. This is the very beauty of writing the sales page, is that the copywriters who might have written the sales page for Frank Kern, they are trying to tease the emotion of curiosity. They want you to be curious, but they're not giving you everything. They're telling you to go and see page 3 of what we are actually trying to tell you. Breakthrough tactic for gaining trust with your prospects. Very few businesses do this, and I think it's about 300 times easier than the normal methods everyone else does. You'll get a crystal clear understanding of this on page 54. Again, there is a curiosity loop. He's basically opening a loop, and he's trying to keep you curious all the time. The simple secret of the world's highest paid speaker, and how you can reverse engineer it for your own personal gain. So you see, he's teasing the chance of attaining high status in society. Now, this is a very good one. The human brain basically thinks in term. The human brain is selfish, right? So it thinks about itself only. So he's trying to sell you the status that this is the simple secret, the world's highest paid secret, world's highest paid speaker, and how you can reverse engineer for your personal, which basically is saying that if you get the secret, you can also become a person of high status in society. So he's selling you the status that you can get. Plug your ears. You're being fed terrible misinformation by these come lately marketers and the shiny objects. So this is another psychology, and this is another methodology where you basically are throwing rocks at your enemies. I think I've mentioned over here. You throw rocks at your enemies and he's positioning himself as a truth teller. There are only 3 proven steps to sustainable profits, and they work in perfect synergy when applied in the right order. So what he is saying, when you say the word proven, you're basically pushing the safe emotion, right? So the 3 proven steps to sustainable profits. On page 6, you'll get the exact 3-part equation for profits that drives the entire system. You'll instantly understand it so you can apply it to your business today. So there are a lot of emotions he's pushing here. When you say on page 6, you'll get the exact 3-part equation for profits, you're pushing the curious emotion. And when you say you'll instantly understand it, it's like it's very fast, it's quick, so it's easy. Implement this and you might completely dominate your market, catapulting yourself, your business. yourself, your business, and your brand to celebrity status and outselling your competition while they're left scratching their heads in wonder. This is selling a lot of insane benefits. The two things you can do immediately to increase sales and revenue without spending money on more traffic and without sending more emails to your list. So this is one of the biggest objection he has handled, that you can increase your sales and you can increase your revenue without spending more money on traffic and without even sending more emails. This is one of the biggest objections people have, this: how can I increase my revenue if I don't send any emails and if I don't do any paid traffic? So this is the psychology. You need to anticipate your audience's objections and their false beliefs and immediately address them in the sales page. And also, one thing that I need to mention is that when you say the word without, you're basically saying a not statement. So, not statement is any statement which has the word not or without, and that is basically selling the easy emotion, that you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, and you can still succeed. That is an easy emotion, right? The same day approach works like crazy and does not, again, this is again a not statement, involve affiliates, joint ventures, and any of the usual internet marketing tricks you have heard over and over again. You see, this is again pulling the easy emotion. And when you say see page 7, it's more like it's telling you to go and check page 7. It's again pushing the curiosity element. Steal this, there's an amazing psychological effect that makes people line up in droves to proudly spend 300% more on the same type of product their friends just bought for a fraction of the price. This is again, now this is a very shocking statement. This is like he is giving you a statement, and this is like an immediately also a pattern interrupt, that there is an amazing psychological effect that makes people line up in droves to proudly spend 300% more the same type of product their friends just bought for a fraction of the price. This is a very shocking statement, right? How is it possible? Beginning on page 9, I'll walk you through a present day case study and reveal exactly how this is done, why it works, and the exact steps you can take to have the same mad rush effect in your business. Again, this is a lot of curiosity and mad rush and big and FOMO, and I'll reveal it's different. There's a lot of, you know, strong psychology over here. I've personally deployed this statement in two of my businesses, successfully charging as much as 500% more than my competitors during one of the worst recessions in history. So when you say the word I have personally deployed this strategy, this is basically giving your personal proof as a method of anchoring an argument in the economy of in the context of a tough economy. So this is the place where his personal proof is developing even more credibility, that I was the person who did this, and if this worked for me, and if you follow the exact steps that I'm telling you, this can work for you as well. End result, I sold out of products. Just very simple. He said I just got sold. All of my products got sold. This one tip alone can literally alter the course of your business, transforming you into an ultra premium brand that people clamor to be associated with. So you see, he's building the desire for premium positioning and selling the benefits. Alright? So again, you need to basically sell the benefit to your audience and let them know that they can achieve the same thing that you want. They can achieve the same higher status, the same position, the same elite status, only if they listen to you and follow your steps, step by step. Think that more sales is the first step to more profits? Think again. Discover the single biggest factor in increasing the money in your pocket, even if your sales stay the same. So this is again, a lot of people may have a lot of internal false belief that in order to get more profits, you need to get more sales. But he is debunking that myth. He is basically addressing that false myth. He's basically countering an internal false belief of many business owners without revealing the actual answer. He's saying you need to think again, and then I'll reveal the actual answer inside the book, which is on page 7. So you see, he's kind of addressing a false myth, and he is also then showing them that I'll show you the answer, but not here inside the book. Everybody knows you're supposed to use testimonials to get more sales, right? Wrong. So this is a pattern interrupt. This is basically him teasing uh, the common mind, the common belief that everybody thinks that more testimonials can get more sales, right? But that's the wrong idea. He's taking a contrarian stance. I haven't used testimonials in over 4 years and I'm making more sales than ever. See what I'm doing differently, and you can use the same method on page 15. Plus, you'll discover how to charge more than your competitors. The secret is this two-step formula that's built to work even if you're an unknown nobody. Even if you're unknown nobody. So you see, when you say the word even if, it's kind of pushing the safe, it's kind of pushing the easy motion. Even if. The easiest way to create major demand for what you're selling. Forget hype and the typical marketing you used to do and sick of. The simple approach works like crazy and it doesn't even take money to deploy. You see, he's giving a lot of powerful emotions. It's crazy, it's big, it doesn't even take money, so it's easy. 8 black ops psychological positioning triggers that make you magnetic to your best customers. So you see, when you use the word black ops, it's kind of using a little bit of mystery, all right, and it's kind of using the stealthy name. When you say the word black ops, it kind of things like, oh my god, this is gonna be some secret stealthy methodology, and it's adding a little bit of mystery and curiosity in your sales page. One of them is forbidden. Now this is very powerful. People really want to know, people will do the opposite of what you say. If you say something is forbidden, people will try to find out why is it forbidden, right? So one of them is forbidden. How to deploy them, how to deploy the other 7, revealed on page number 17. So he's amping up the curiosity even more. He's trying to tell you that this is forbidden, but I'll reveal that. But that is on page number 17, that's not here. How to become a celebrity authority in your marketplace. Again, what to say in your ads and how to position your marketing messages and what type of sales angles work the best. Again, that's on page 19. Everywhere he is pushing curiosity, everywhere he is basically triggering you to eventually buy this because you're going to get the answers on certain pages. But that's not all. So when you say the word but that's not all, you're basically again opening a curiosity loop. This is more of like a bribe. You're saying there's more. You'll also uncover ruthless success secrets like how to get customers from your enemies. You'll discover. So this is again mentioning a conflict. How to get customers from your enemies. That is like you're trying to fight with your enemies, and you're gonna literally snatch away those customers from their mouth. That's powerful. You'll discover an unusual phrase that can turn your enemies into a wonderful source of major opportunity. So there is a phrase. I don't know what that phrase is gonna be. And he's saying there is a phrase that you have to say. And when you say that phrase, your enemies will then become a wonderful source of opportunity. I don't know if you say that phrase and they give their customers to you altogether or something like that. I don't know, but we'll have to see. Plus, I reveal the worst time to try to make a sale. Thank God your competition is almost always going to make this mistake. Use my unusual offer timing revealed on page 53. So you see, he is mentioning time as a secret advantage and exploiting competitor error. So what he's saying is that your competition does not know this, and so he's going to make the same mistake again. So you should be thankful that he actually does this mistake so that you can take advantage of it. When you should never send your traffic straight to a sales message, even if they already know you. This is very different. This is something even I learned. A lot of people, they send their traffic to a sales message, and I don't know. This guy knows well than me. So there has to be a reason why you shouldn't send your organic traffic directly to a sales message. Anyways, now there is a new process that conveys way more prospects into our customers, and it can only be used online. So now he's talking about a new process. So there is something new, and it's a process. So this is like he's introducing a new secret mechanism. Discover what it is and precisely how to deploy it on page 40. Again, curiosity. How billion-dollar CEOs, politicians, and even cult leaders control people's opinions without ever even meeting them. Now he has basically aggregated billion-dollar CEOs, politicians, and then cult leaders. So this is like a very unusual type of categorization, because CEO is a different class of people, politician is a different class, and then cult leader is a different class altogether. What he's trying to basically tell you is that these are high impact examples, and they may be different strata of people, but all of them, they're using this mechanism, and they're actually controlling people's opinion without even meeting them. Now that is very powerful, that you control somebody's opinion without even meeting them. You basically, you could be brainwashing them, but we don't know. So we're gonna have to find it on page 27. Again, that's a curiosity loop. The fastest way to make someone want what you're selling, whatever you do, don't talk about your product. Again, there's a little bit of forbidding over here, but there's more intrigue. The real way to get buyers from social media. Forget what the expert says. I personally close more sales per month than most people make in a year, all from advertising on social media. In short, I cracked the code. So when you say I cracked the code, again, it's something new, it's going to be something different. I found the answer, and you should know. And also, this could be a little bit of FOMO, because if I found the answer and you don't have the answer, then you need to know the answer, which means you could be missing out. So there could be an element of fear of missing out. Go behind the scenes of a successful promo beginning on page 65. You're right. There is a lot of proven real world strategies and tactics that are working right now, but it's just the tip of the iceberg, because you're also getting. Okay, so what are you getting? You're getting an advanced system for turning complete strangers into raving fans who buy from you over and over again. So I think we have now started the sales page. We have now entered the section of the offer. What is he offering? So basically, what he's offering is an advanced system for turning complete strangers into raving fans who buy from you over and over again. So he's basically trying to tell you there is a system that you can actually use to completely turn strangers into a raving fan. Let's see. Listen, as much as people like to complicate the process of selling things online, it's actually pretty simple. Here it is. So the first step, he says, is that you need to first build a list of interested prospects. That's step number 1. And then he talks about step number 2, which is sell them the stuff. Now here is where things get a little bit different. He's saying that everybody knows the first step is easy. You build a list by giving away free information in exchange for the email address. So you basically give them free information, and you take the information, you take the email address by some sort of opt-in. You build a list by giving away free information in exchange for the email address. You can do that in your sleep. But how do you turn a complete stranger into a raving fan who chooses you over everybody else over and over again? And this is something I have learned from this very famous internet marketer, and that is, it's not a marketer. I mean, he could be. And that's KJ Rainey. Shout out to KJ, by the way, for teaching this. I think this is more of like presenting a problem chain. It's like you list a lot of problems people can have when they're trying to achieve a certain result, and then you slowly and gradually show them why they're not suitable for this one, they're not suitable for this problem, they're not suitable for that problem. And so the logically, I am the person who solves this problem, and hence whatever I'm selling becomes the next logical step to take, which is buy my solution. So this is exactly to some degree what Frank Kern is doing. He's saying, how do you create a situation where a complete stranger who doesn't know you chooses only you over and over again, which means that you're solving such a big problem, and you've positioned yourself and structured yourself in such a way that your solution becomes the logical next step, because nobody else is solving that problem. So there's a system for it. And so this is more of like a belief shift, and he's showcasing a method. In addition to this book, you're also getting a complete 90-minute walkthrough of exactly how that system works and how you can start implementing it immediately. It's not a new tech gizmo, It's not software. So you see, he's kind of selling the easy emotion. This is not a tech gizmo, it's not a software, so it's not something difficult. Here's what to do next. Now he gets into the actual meaty part, which is now he talks about the book and its cost. The cost of this book is $5.67, and you get it instantly as a PDF download, which is he's selling the fast, easy motion. It's instant, quick. But then he actually puts a question in your brain. He said, why $5.60? It's because I don't believe any book is so cheap in general. So he's immediately addressing that skepticism. And he's also justifying the cost to appeal the logical part of his brain. And he further says that while I used to mail out physical copies, the printing, postage, and padded envelope cost exactly $5.6. So he's basically giving a logical reason that he used to initially send out these copies in physical mails. So there were extra charges that he used to incur. The printing, the postage, and the padded envelope, everything cost about 5.60. And he also gives another logical justification is that about 6% of the books we shipped out were getting lost in the mail. And some of them were taking nearly 3 weeks to arrive. So he just gave you a logical reason. So I figured you would prefer to get the book immediately rather than having to wait a couple of weeks. So as soon as you place your order today, you'll be sent an email with the download link where you can get it. From there, you can download the book and read it. You can access your book anywhere instantly without having to wait for the post office to get it to you. Oh, and in case you're wondering, so you see, he is basically giving you, in this particular section, he's giving you a logical reason of why the book cost about $5.6. Because we as humans, no matter how emotional we are, we still need a logical explanation for things in order to buy. Now he mentions that there is no catch. And why is he mentioning the fact that there is no catch is because a lot of people in the market, if something sounds too good to be true, there's always something on the back end that they're trying to sell you. So what Frank Kern is doing over here is that he's positioning himself as a different person. He's saying there is no catch. I know there are some websites out there that offer you a great deal on something, but they stick you in some program that charges your card every month. This is using a little bit of humor, but then what he's actually saying is that a lot of people or a lot of websites out there, they give you a great deal, but then on the back end they charge you something. So that kind of becomes a fallacy. This is one of them. There is no hidden continuity program you have to try or anything even remotely like that. I'm giving you this entire book at cost as a means of putting my best foot forward and demonstrating real value. So he's basically presenting his credibility, and he's actually showing he's very genuine and he cares about his customers and he really wants people to succeed. My hope is that you love it, and this will be the start of a good business relationship for years to come. With that said, there is one thing to keep in mind. Time is of the essence. Now, as we are going towards the end of the sales page, Frank Kern is injecting urgency over here. So there are two concepts, which is urgency and scarcity. Urgency is always of time, and scarcity is in terms of resources. So time is basically representing that there is less time, you need to be urgent. Here's why. I take a loss by selling you this book at this price. The reason is why it cost me $33.04 in advertising cost to sell one book. He's also justifying the urgency with logic. So why would I do that? It's simple. I want to create a great impression on you so that one day you might do business with me again. So this is something I have also studied from Joe Sugarman. He was also a great marketer and a copywriter. He was more of a copywriter, by the way. And that one of the very good strong psychological levers, I think he has about 33 or 31 psychological levers in his book. I think it's the second section of his book where he mentions 31 psychological levers you should pull, and one of that lever is honesty. People love to do business with people who are honest. So here Frank Kern is being very honest. He's saying, I want you to use this book so that you can later on come back and we might do business again, or we can do a business. So he's being very intentional and very honest about his idea. Yes, I have other products and services that you might be interested in. So he's telling you that I have other products and services you might be interested in. So there is a high chance I might sell you that. So I want you to take this book, implement all the teachings I've taught inside the book into your business, get some sales and customers so that you can come back to me and we can do business. I'm hedging my bets that you'll enjoy the book so much you'll ask to try other trainings and services I offer. Pretty straightforward, really. You see, he's being very honest, very straightforward. He says, I have other training and services I offer, and I'm sure you're going to love them as well. If you love this book, you'll love other training and services as well. Oh, and one more thing. You're also getting, so he's being completely honest, he's adding a little bit of reciprocity, and now he's transitioning into the bonus section. So bonus is like what other things you'll get. How you'll also get a brand new video training on how to turn Facebook ads into sales. So now he is basically transitioning into more things, into more benefits. Let's be honest. Paid traffic is probably one of the most scary topics for entrepreneurs. We've heard the horror stories of people losing their shirts. Okay, this is a little bit of humor. So he's actually addressing a very common burning problem for business owners, that Facebook ads is expensive, right? So you need to know exactly what you're doing before you run a Facebook ad, because that's going to charge you money. And nobody wants to lose their money on a Facebook ad campaign that does not convert or does not get more sales. So immediately Frank Kern is addressing a very common objection or a very big burning problem for business owners, that how do I actually turn Facebook ads into sales? And then we have heard the horror stories of people losing their shirts. This is more like giving a taste of humor. I can relate, it happened to me repeatedly. But I stuck with it, and fast forward today, my company gets an average of just more than 3,058 and counting new customers every month just from Facebook ads. Now that is a big statement. So whenever you give a very big statement or something like that, the natural knee-jerk reflex of the human brain is how. And that is exactly what Frank Kern has done again. He has mentioned how. And then he goes on explaining. Well, there are just 3 steps we use, and I'm convinced that if you follow these 3 steps, you can crack the Facebook code yourself. Just a few of the things you'll find in the special bonus include. Now he is basically mentioning the bonuses. And these are really good bullets I should learn from. How to use Facebook ads to get more leads and sales for your business. Even if you're scared of technology, don't really use Facebook personally, and don't know a thing about paid traffic. So I told you the not statements. Remember the not statements. Whenever you say something not, this is without or not, it's actually pushing the easy emotion. So even if you're scared of technology, which means if you don't know how to use technology, even if you don't use Facebook personally, and even if you don't know nothing about paid traffic, you're going to still get more leads and sales for your business. And this is exactly what you want to do in your copy as well. You want to sell as much of the easy emotion as possible. How to position your ad for the greatest response right out of the gate. This is the secret to getting the most bang for your advertising buck. Again, he's selling curiosity. There is some secret, right? The secret 3 stages that every successful Facebook ad campaign has, and how you can use them to save yourself time, money, and effort. Again, pushing the curiosity element. The accidental discovery that boosted the positive response of our images, and how you can ethically steal it for your own images. Again, something which happens accidental, and then something you discover, and then some good thing happens. People will want to know, because this is different. Forget needing expensive professional photos. All you need is a camera on your phone and about 15 spare minutes. Again, he is addressing some false belief that you don't need a lot of professional photos. You just need a camera of your phone and 50 minutes, and there you go. The amazing free tool that will let you turn a single ad into dozens of variations to test at the touch of a button. This will not only save you a tremendous amount of time, it will save you a ton of money too. So he's pushing the big and FOMO motion that it's an amazing free tool and it will turn your single ad into dozens of variations to test at the touch of a button, and it will save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of money. This is something big happening. This is a lot of FOMO, and you need to immediately latch onto this opportunity. The often overlooked but super easy method to scaling advertising rapidly without increasing your amount of financial risk. Again, he has addressed the financial risk aspect as well. How you can scale your advertising rapidly without losing a lot of money. How to get your Facebook to help you lower your ad cost. It's actually in the best interest to do so. People think that Facebook wants a lot of money from you. Facebook wants you to spend more on ads. But here he's giving a contrarian belief. He's saying that it's in their best interest to take less money from you, which actually again gets you into thinking how, right? He's giving a lot of contrarian beliefs. He's going against the crowd, and he is going against the crowd, and he really wants you to think, and he wants to incite more curiosity. Look, this book is great, and you'll get everything you need from it. But I'm the kind of guy that likes to play big or go home, and I'm betting you are too. Now, this is where he is actually making the audience question their confidence in everything. This is a very strong psychological tactic. It's like when you're trying to sell somebody, you basically really go granular and question their belief. Is that, are you the person who's ready to bet on yourself? Because I'm ready to bet on myself. Are you ready to bet on yourself? Are you confident in yourself? And nobody wants to be demeaned. Nobody likes to be questioned their ability, right? So this is a very strong, I would say, a psychological lever, is that you're actually questioning their belief in their ability, and this is what nobody wants to be done. That's why I'm giving you this bonus video today. It's my little way of ensuring that you can start implementing everything you will learn and convert right away. So this is the first time in this book where the first time in this sales page where he's actually revealing the name of the book, and the name is Convert. So yes, you really are getting this book and this Facebook ad training for just $5.6. So he's reinforcing this idea. He's restating the offer again just to reinforce the idea that yes, this is true. This is actually happening. You are actually getting this book for just $5.6. Isn't it wild? However, if I can't make the numbers work for this test, I may pull down the book and raise the price. So you need to claim your copy now. Again, he is pushing a little bit of urgency. Is that if I can't make the numbers work for this test, I may pull the book down, and I'll have to raise the price. So you better act quick. If I pull the offer down, that's all she wrote. And by the way, even though you're paying a ridiculously low price, you're still protected by the boldest guarantee in the world. So again, it is recommended to, I mean, it's not, it depends on the type of sales letter or the VSL that you're putting, but adding a guarantee adds a lot of confidence in your customers that they are buying something and they have a guarantee out of it. And there are different types of guarantee that I studied from the very famous book $100 Million Offers by Alex Ramosi. And every guarantee has its own nuance and its own subjective reality. So you need to be very careful of what type of guarantee goes with what you're selling, right? Here, Frank Kern is saying that I 100% guarantee you love this book and the new video training, or I'll return your $5.60, let you keep the book and the video training anyway. This is a very strong guarantee. What he's saying is that if you don't like the book, you give me back the book. You give me back. I'll give you back the money. I'll have to rephrase this again. If you don't like the book, you get to keep the book, and you get to keep the video training as well, and I'll give you your money back. This is a very strong guarantee. So the person who reads this, there's a very high chance that he'll buy, because now he has lowered the friction bar as much as possible. Just email me or call the number on your receipt, and I'll give you back your $5.60 with no question asked. How's that for fair? So that's a rhetorical question. Isn't that fair? Of course it's fair. This is truly a time limited offer, so claim your copy now before they're all gone. And then he has his button, send me the book. So when you say there's a limited offer before your copy is gone, now this could be more of like a scarcity urgency. I mentioned it's scarcity because there could be limited number of copies. There could be, you never know. But up till now, from this whole sales page, what I have inferred is it is more of like an urgent based. Thanks for taking the time to read this letter, and I look forward to hearing from you soon, Frank Kern. And then in the last, he has mentioned the PS section. This is a lot of what marketers do, is that a lot of people, they do not read a whole sales page. Maybe they don't have time, or maybe they know this person so well, they just want to buy, so they'll quickly and immediately go to the bottom of the sales page and they just want to press that button where they have to buy. So Frank Kern is saying, PS, in case you're one of those people like me who just skip to the end of the letter, here's the deal. I'm giving you a 75-page book that outlines the exact marketing approaches I've used to create wildly successful internet sales system for my own business and for my clients. All you pay is a measly $5.60. That's the exact price it would cost if I were to print up a physical copy, stuff it in a padded envelope, and then mail it to you. I'm also giving you a video training which outlines the exact 3 steps we use with Facebook ads to bring in an average of 3,058 customers every single month. The bonus video not only shows you what the 3 steps are, it gives you examples on how to deploy them for your business starting right now. I'm giving it to you as a gift because I want you to implement what you learn in the book immediately. And this is a very limited offer because I'm running at a marketing test. If I'm not able to at least break even on my advertising cost, then I'll put this offer down. There is no catch to this offer. You will not be signing up for any trial to some monthly program or anything like that. And in fact, if you don't like the book, let me know and I'll even give you back your $5.60. Click here and claim your copy now. You won't regret. So basically what he's done over is that this is just a PS. He's restating the whole offer. He's basically summarizing the whole sales page in just a few sentences, and and this is for people who basically skim the whole sales letter and they want to go to the end of the sales letter and see what he's offering. And then he gives a little bit of disclaimer as well, right? So guys, this is the whole sales letter that I thought would be useful for me to break down and explain you over here. And as I promised, let's understand what exactly happened with this sales message. So this is what I mentioned. This is basically the whole summary of his sales page. It's kind of less of a summary but more of like the whole concept. This is the old belief and this is the new belief. I've divided this whole section into two tables, and I've mentioned the old and the new belief. So let's see. The old belief is that online marketing is complicated and I need software ads and gurus. So the people or business owners who want to get more customers for their businesses, they believe that online marketing is complicated. They think it's difficult. So I need more softwares, I need more ads, and I need more gurus. But now after reading the sales page, they have now come to a conclusion is that it's actually simple only if I follow Frank's system. So Frank has a solution to my problem, and I'll get the answer and I'll get to my dream outcome only if I follow Frank. Marketing requires big budgets and fancy tech. This is the old belief. People think that marketing requires a lot of big budgets and a lot of fancy tech. But do you remember in the sales page he mentioned that you just need a camera and a phone camera in just 15 minutes and you're done. So you see, he's shifting the belief. He's saying that all I need, and then the new belief then becomes that all I need is the right strategy and not more tools and tricks. And the third old belief is that most gurus exaggerate or hide the truth. People have this very false notion that a lot of people, and this is very true as well, you can have a lot of scammers in the market. So people have this genuine belief that a lot of people, a lot of gurus are there just to steal my money from me. But now after reading the sales page, they understand that Frank is the rare one who tells the truth, so I can trust him because Frank shows his credibility, he shows his face. People know who he is. So now their belief is changing that no, this guy is not a scammer. This guy knows what he's doing. He has deployed the systems he's selling into his own business and has got results out of it. So I can trust him. The fourth one is getting customers is hard. And this is something everybody believes. And this is true as well. Getting customers is actually hard. But then when you read the sales page, you come to a conclusion that competitors are practically giving me customers if I just do what Frank teaches me. Because competitors are doing some mistakes and Frank is teaching me those mistakes. And your competitors will keep on doing these mistakes as long as they don't know exactly what Frank is trying to teach. And you have this special knowledge that you can gain, that you have access to, and then you can use this specific knowledge to literally take away customers from your competitors. And the last says that success takes years, which is true to a lot of extent. Big success actually takes years, like a really big one. But the new belief that Frank is telling you is that you can start seeing results fast if you only apply these simple methods. Again, even what I understood and analyzed from his sales message is that there's a lot of easy emotion. So if I were to just summarize this whole sales page in just 2 or 3 lines, is that there is a lot of easy emotion, there is a lot of mystery and curiosity, there is a lot of strong big claims. Yeah. So guys, if you like this video and if you've learned any good concept out of this, you can mention it in the comment section. And if you want me to break more sales page like this in a granular depth, let me know and I'll break down more sales page as much as I can. And also, if you want this sales page Miro board, let me know and I'll mention it in the comment section as well. I hope you like this video. Till then, next time.